financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being
Who's
educated
talking
in
out
such
there?
topics as personal injury
Tell
law,
'em.
community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hey, good evening. I tell you what, today has been an unbelievable day. I got a call from the White House, and they said, how would you like to interview Vice President Pence? Now, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, when you get a call from the White House, I'm going to tell you something. You don't say, well, let me think about it. And Freddie, who does all the production work with AMP2 TV, how he got it done in such a quick time. But we interviewed the Vice President of the United States today. It was an amazing interview, and we will be playing it tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. But tonight, we've got really a special show. This is like the family hour tonight. This is the Simon Group USA. They are wealth management financial planners, and we've got mom, we've got son, and we've got grandson, or son of son. We have them all, but we're going to talk about, before we go to wealth management, we're going to talk to Bo Simon first. Hey, Bo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. This is your first time on radio?
Yeah, I think this is my third now.
This is my second, so you're way ahead of me. And tell everybody you're running for office for tomorrow night.
Right, yes. So since August, I've been running to be Broward County's next soil and water supervisor to represent District 5 on the board. So running for office at any level, whether you're running for, soil and water or president, has just been a crazy experience.
What have you learned?
In local politics, that
Because Dad told me you're going to be running for mayor one of these days.
maybe. But in local politics, I really learned that you have to always keep your head on your shoulders, and you really can't concern yourself with everything else going on, because there are so many things happening nationally and at the state level and at the local level. You just got to keep your eyes on the prize, which is your own race, and not to veer too off your
I
mission.
didn't think of it that way, because everybody is talking about the presidential race and the Senate, and here you are, you're running for a local. I mean, this is local. What does a soil and water conservationist supervisor do? And who would have known there's more than one district?
Right, so there are 5 districts, and actually every county in the state of Florida has their own soil and water conservation, and each of them have about 5 to 7 supervisors that are elected by the people, and their job is to be a liaison between the Florida Department of Agriculture, which is then the liaison between the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So it kind of all trickles down into your local level, and they manage a budget, they have staff, but unfortunately in Broward County we don't have any of that. So that's
You
why
don't
I'm
have
running.
a budget?
We don't have a budget, we don't have staff, we don't even have accurate minutes from past meetings.
But you have to run for office.
Yes. So the district entered a no-bid contract about 10 years ago, and so my opponent, who's been there for 8 years, what's been going on is they haven't done anything since they entered the contract. The contract's been up for 2 years now, and still nothing has been done. So
Wow.
we need someone who understands local government, has a clear direction of what they want to do and how they want to get it done. And at the end of the day, it's a disservice to the residents that we haven't been doing that.
So I'm going to give you some fatherly advice. This might not seem like much, but wow, look at this, how this is going to look on your resume. You got to win. So listen, folks, you've got to tomorrow night, or actually tomorrow, and this is strictly for Broward now, right?
Yes, it's a county-wide seat, so wherever you live, that encompasses in Broward County.
Okay. And have you seen the ballot? Have you voted yet?
Yes, I voted early.
They spell your name right?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They did.
So his name is Bo Simon. And let me tell you something. This guy comes with great pedigree. I promise you, between his grandmother and his father. What do you have to be elected every year?
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
Yes.
Get this guy out of here. I don't even care what his name is. Get him out of here. Because you know what? I think you're young and you want to do, and I think you'll probably do a lot more than he would ever do.
Thank you. I hope so, and I plan on doing a lot more.
So tomorrow night, tomorrow, God, it starts at 7 a.m.?
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. until the polls close.
So listen, when you go down there, don't just check something to be checking it. Remember the name Bo Simon. He's District 5.
Yes.
How many pages? I'm voting tomorrow. I'm not mailing mine in. How many pages are there?
On the ballot?
On the ballot.
So it depends where you live. I know there are certain places, for example, I live in Weston, it's only 2 pages. Every time you're electing a person, it's going to be on the first page. But if you live in somewhere where they have a lot of amendments to their town charter, for example, Davie has 10 amendments, so their ballots are 3 pages long.
Yeah, I think in Davie
So
you
it
have to have a
just
horse,
depends.
don't you? You have to have
That's where I'm voting tomorrow, Davie.
Davie?
Yes.
So my last question to you, and this is the most important question. Why should I vote for you?
You should vote for me for an array of reasons, and it all comes down to that no longer will we have someone who you can't reach in office. My promise is, even if we don't agree on a subject, you'll always be able to reach me. I think government transparency and being able to reach your elected constitutional officers is the most important thing. If you can't pick up the phone and call your local congressperson or even your city commissioner, there is a problem. That's why I'm running, because really I didn't plan on running, but when I was looking at everybody who was running, and I said to myself, I really want someone to step into this seat, because for too long I was tired of seeing my constituents and my neighbors being underrepresented, and for them not to have a voice at the table. I live in the city of Weston, and if you know the city of Weston, we are bordering the Everglades on 2 sides and Southwest Ranches on the other side. That being said, we've never had a seat at the table when it comes to the Soil and Water Conservation Board. I was sick and tired of seeing my neighbors and everyone else around me not being represented. The fact that we can't call our representatives and ask simple questions or have accurate transparency when it comes to finding the minutes of meetings or being able to understand what's going on the board. That all needs to change. We need someone at every level of office, whether it be in D.C. all the way down to Fort Lauderdale. We need to make sure we have people who you're able to call and reach. And you don't have to agree with me on everything, but I want to be open to having a conversation about it to make sure that everybody's voice is at the table.
Doesn't matter what party you're affiliated with.
Exactly. The environment should never be political, by the way.
So you're going to be very accessible.
Yes.
People will be able to reach you.
Yes.
And do you have a website?
Yes. So if you go to BEAU 4, like the number 4, Broward.com, you can always reach me through there, and my personal cell phone number is on that too.
And let me ask you, is your platform on there?
Yes.
To explain what you're going to be doing?
So all of our goals are there, and one thing that I was actually talking about today that's not on the website yet, but will be, is the first thing I'm going to do once we get into office is I'm going to have a financial audit. We need to figure out what went wrong. And
Somebody could be in trouble.
Well, we need to go ahead to the state and say we want an audit to ourselves so we can then go ahead and fix the problems that come back in the audit, which need to be done on day 1 8 years ago, but it wasn't.
You're taking this very seriously. I'm glad.
Yes.
Steve, why don't you ask him his background of what got him into office?
It must have something to do with you.
Nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with that.
But explain to him exactly what got you into this position and why, and what you did for the last couple of years in the high school level, and going into what you're doing now, and where you sat, and who's backing you, and who's sponsoring you.
Right now, I'm endorsed by the Broward Teachers Union, as well as 4 school board members in this election, and a handful of municipal elected officials at the local level, because for the past 2 years I've gotten to serve on the Broward County School Board. I was the student representative on the board, and I was the first ever to be reelected to the seat. So through my years of public service with the Broward County School Board, I learned the importance of local government and what goes on and how local government works. So really, I just want to run for office to make sure that I'm using that experience that I learned and I'm able to give it back to my community.
Wow, the
So
teachers union?
the teachers union who have
That's
been-
huge.
Yeah, they've been awesome throughout this whole entire thing, and I've really been supporting our teachers ever since I started working with the school board. And 4 of our school board members, including Vice Chair Rosalind Osgood, Robin Bartleman, Nora Rupert, Patty Good, and plenty of our local elected commissioners at the local level as well. So they've all been great as well.
Steve, I will tell you something.
I'm voting for him.
I'll tell you something. I was on a Zoom call a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't realize that my son had a lot of influential people in Broward County that he built relationships with over the last couple of years. And when I asked him, this is a father speaking to his child, why do you want to run? What are you doing? And why are you doing this? And he told me. And I sat down and I looked at him. I said, you know what? This comes into like a business plan now, right? And it comes down to being, we're going to go to the local colleges, get the professors, get the people that actually understand the county, what's going on with the soil and water, meaning the marine biology departments, the agricultural departments, and get their take on it and ask the experts, the real experts of what's wrong with the county, what's wrong with the sewage system, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that. We all know that with the water lines breaking and we can't drink the water and all the problems that keep on happening, at least we have a voice of someone that's going to understand that he has to look at what the problems are and find out what the problems are so he can work on them. And it's a great stepping stone from basically a district that's been bankrupt for the last 10 years, as you said. No one's doing anything. At least someone will go in there and try and do something. All we ask is, we want from all our politicians is try. Just try. And you know what? Don't give us the yes, 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 and do nothing, because that's all
Right.
it's been with everybody. And we know
Come back
that.
and see in 2 years.
Exactly. And you know what? With his dedication and what I know my son, the way he is, that if it's a challenge, he will charge after it, he'll go after it, and he'll make sure the problems are fixed. And if he doesn't, he's going to want to know why, and take it all the way up to Tallahassee. And I know that that's what he's going to end up doing because of, you know what, if he wasn't going to actually really stand behind his word, I wouldn't let him do this as a father.
You would
And
ground him?
I wouldn't ground him, but I would, at the point of saying, listen, he's going to make a dent, and not a dent, he's going to make a crack, and he's going to open it up, and actually we're going to start seeing things in this county that we're going to start fixing our water systems, our agricultural systems, and stuff of that nature. And you know what? I'm proud of him. You know, I look
You
at him.
should be.
You know, and it's kind of funny. 'Cause I look at him and I'm saying, you're doing what? And now I say to myself, you know what? Here's a kid that has a shot to actually really change our county. He grew up here. He loves his county. He has his initiative. He actually put in there, which I thought was very different. He has, do you want to tell him about your butterfly project?
Yes. So one of the big reasons why I've been working with the teachers union is because I wanted to figure out how we could educate the next generation about making sure we're using clean soil and that we have clean waterways, which is one of my biggest things. And so I realized, let's identify where in the schools kids learn the most, in their butterfly garden. That's where they get the
Wow.
hands-on experience. So during the end of my term on the school board, when I would visit these butterfly gardens, they were a little run down and they weren't being utilized to their fullest potential. So what I wanted to do and what I want to do with the Soil and Water District is once we get the money back, I want to make sure we're reinvesting it into our schools, that we are then providing grants for the butterfly gardens and that we have key people at each school to then go ahead and rebuild these butterfly gardens, and not for just school improvement, but also to make it very educational for the students, to make sure we are giving back in some way. Because if you're not investing in the next generation, that's the biggest problem right there. And one of the main goals of these conservation districts is to educate the youth. And we need to form a strong partnership between us and the school district, and we need to make sure that we're getting all those partnerships done. And it all starts with our schools and our local cities.
Well, if you don't vote for Bo, I am telling you, after hearing him speak, you're an excellent speaker. You've got my endorsement, that is for sure.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you came on. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we got Mama Simon coming on.
Yeah.
Great job. Thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
Bo Simon.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
And we are back. We're going to be doing our Ask the Experts now. We are on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7, and our new time frame, 7 to 7:30, which I guess up till tomorrow night will be our political time slash entertainment. We will have some of the biggest names in entertainment, but we have right now, we've got Simon Group USA, and we've got Mama Simon, who you have been in this business
33 years.
That's it?
That's all.
33 years. And you know what? You listen, when you're handling people's money for that long, you can end up getting a lot of marks against you, and you're just, it seems like your clients just love you.
Well, according to my son, they don't. But
What does he know?
no, there's a lot of respect mutually between the client and myself, my son. You know, it's that we're honest. We tell them like it's at. We tell them where it's at. And unfortunately, many times, people don't realize that people like to hear what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always tell them what they want to hear. I tell them the truth. And that's what...
I mean, they suck up to them.
That's it. And it's very important that they understand that. Because if they understand I'm telling them the truth, then they know that it's what to expect of me. And one of the biggest things that I pride myself on in this business is the service that I do. And I do a tremendous amount of service work. And it's very important because... Yeah, as people age,
all you have is your name.
And that's it. And I don't want to spoil my name.
Right.
My name is good.
Yeah.
And it's like when I say...
There's nothing worth losing it over.
You know, you have my word, then you have my word. And my word is gold. And you know what? I won't endorse anything unless I know that it's the right thing to do. And that's the way I live my life. And some people... You know, there was somebody said something to me today, and I thought about it. And it's a question that always goes around in a circle. Why is such good people dealt such a bad hand? And terrible, terrible things happen to them throughout their whole life, and they just can't seem to get out of that. And the evil ones and the horrible ones seem to make more money and have an easier life and have all these wonderful things. And I was thinking about that today because I believe in karma, as you've heard me say before.
Many times.
And today, after having a conversation with someone, I was just so, I asked why. And they try to do all the right things in their whole life. It's just sometimes... somebody is dealt a bad hand. And sometimes it gets better and sometimes it doesn't. So, like the old saying goes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
Right.
Well, that's what we try to do. So, you have to have a lot of empathy in this.
So how much is your
business.
lemonade stand worth?
A lot of money.
Okay.
All right. So this is Daniel, who is from the Peanut Gallery.
Now, you both work in at the same office.
Yes.
Yes.
Are your duties separate? Do you do certain area of wealth
Yes.
management?
We have two
And-
bathrooms.
Okay.
Okay.
We
So
both do basically the same thing. It's just that I have more paperwork because I'm in the business longer.
Okay.
the way the business is structured, and we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight from there, that from the wealth management side to the insurance side, and what's big about both sides that we have, and we do everything from, when I say soup to nuts, from your health insurance, your life, your disability, your long-term care. We also do the Medicare supplements. We also, on the wealth management side, we do your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, 401k rollovers, you name it. We do everything under the sun from there. But this is where the financial planning actually comes in. Mom with a financial CFO background, accounting background from there, and insurance background. Now you take the guy from Wall Street, which when I worked on Wall Street, I turned around and I said this. We teamed up a while back and saying, you handle all the insurance, I'll handle all the investments, because when I was sitting there at one of your big conglomerates that I used to work in the World Trade Center with, and when I started seeing insurance boxes coming into the door, I used to laugh and say, yeah, my mom sells that. And they're like, what do you, like, they want us to sell insurance as stockbrokers? And then what happened was I really sat down and really thought about full financial planning and saying, how does this really work? Your health creates the wealth. If you can't work, you can't make money. And if you are sick, you got to pull from your investments and your real estate and everything else to pay for your problems, right? Because if you're not working, who's going to pay your mortgage? Who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for the kids in school? Open enrollment started on Sunday. And let me tell you something about, you want to talk about certain things that we don't get into, but we're going to talk about what the real healthcare law really is. So everybody needs to pay attention. And when I say pay attention, very close attention to what I'm going to tell you guys the truth. And I don't care what they tell you on TV about pre-existing conditions. I don't care what they tell you about all this stuff. I'm not Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a fat guy, and I'm an independent, and I'm unbiased. And if you ever get yourself in trouble, guess what? Don't point your finger at someone else when you did the thing. So what I'm telling you right now is, here's the real law when it comes to what President Trump did to the Health Care Act. He took away the mandatory mandate that you have to own it, otherwise you'll be taxed.
Right.
The health insurance is a tax law. This happened, I don't know if you know your history, and maybe you might know your history, as I look at my son. We had a little tea party back in the day that no one wanted to pay taxes. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But guess what happens? You cannot tax people for not buying something. And that's what the healthcare was. All he did, by the way, boys and girls, there's no such thing as pre-existing conditions. Everybody's insured. You go to Affordable Health Care Act, you want to call it Obamacare, whatever you want to call it, all he did to it was took out the mandatory mandate, so at the end of the year, you don't have to pay that penalty. That's all he did.
Right.
Now, are they going to fix it? They're going to change it? They're going to move around with it?
We don't know.
Nobody
wait a minute,
knows.
wait a minute. So President Trump keeps saying he's lowered the prices on health care.
Well, here's the problem with that, with lowering prices.
because the
prices keep on
mandate
going
was
up.
good.
Yeah, well, to buy it. But let me tell you something. When you pay an insurance company to sell insurance, there's a problem. And that's what Obamacare did. They paid insurance companies to sell insurance. The CEO is making $30, $40 million a year from these companies. Now you're going to, wait a second. You're going to sit there and give people a subsidy. Then you're going to take it back on their taxes, right, and figure it all out with your 1095A form. And then turn around and say, hey, listen, we're giving you all these big companies all this money to go sell the product. Well, does it make sense? I'm going to teach you a couple ways of how to fix everything. Number one, if you need health care, there are no pre-existing conditions. If you make over $13,500, you can actually get health insurance subsidized. If you make between $13,500 and $40,000 as an individual, they will give you a subsidy to buy. There's a lot of people on the exchange this
Who
year.
will give you this?
The government gives it to you.
Okay.
They take it back from you at the end when you file your taxes.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's take, for instance, if you are, prime example, I was on the phone earlier, lady is 60 years old, a good health plan for her will probably run her $900 to $1,100 a month. That's if she makes $45,000 a year. Now, how do you sit there and say, well, that's too expensive if I'm taking 25% of my income? We have products out there. We have group benefits for individuals is one of our products we do have out there, where actually it's a carve-out plan. If anybody remembers the association plans back in the day, where you can go see a doctor, go see a specialist, get your blood work, everything not from the hospital. You can buy hospital indemnity, you can buy it, so you can buy whatever you want. It's all ACA certified, meaning that you can turn around and put it on your taxes, you have health insurance. The same lady who was paying $1,100 a month for the major medical plan can buy this plan, and it costs her under $350 a month.
Wow.
So because we do have products out there, but people don't know because they're not educated. If you want to look at these plans, you go to theagencydirect.com, and it has all the information on there, from the group benefits to Obamacare, the ACA, all your information's on there. Once again, it's called theagencydirect.com. All the information's on there, what to do when you get a medical exam, what to do when you want to buy insurance. Doesn't matter if it's life insurance or health insurance. I'm becoming an advocate to tell people what really needs to happen. My mom says she wants to tell people, hits them between the eyes and tells them the truth. Here's the truth out there. Everybody's going to need health insurance. We have COVID going around right now. A lot of doctors don't take a lot of plans. There's a provider directory out there on the website to tell people point blank, your doctor takes it, they don't. Call your doctor before you buy a plan. Ask them who they take.
Right.
That's the main thing. And I'll tell you something. A lot of these doctors are not taking plans this year, and I've been calling around also, and they're only taking group. But guess what? People don't want to give out benefits anymore. Corporations are not giving them. Look what happened over the last 9 months. Who's going back to their office to work? Not a lot of people.
No, they're not.
So what's going to happen?
They're doing it out of their home.
Doing it out of their home. So now these big corporations looking and saying, do we really need to offer benefits? Do we really need to do this? Do we really need to do that? Who knows?
So it's going to be the companies taking away health insurance, not
all.
Obama or the Affordable Care Act.
No. But what happened was they strangled corporations when they passed the Affordable Health Care Act, because if they don't offer it, if you're over 50 employees, that the tax penalty was so high it would put somebody out of business.
That's right.
And then if the person that was working for that corporation didn't take their insurance, because it was a 9.5% rate
Their income.
of their income, right? And we can get into the nitty gritty, but I don't want to bore everybody because you only have like 3 people listening anyways. So I know, don't give me that look, Steve. I love you, but seriously, I don't know what we're doing here. So what happens is if you turn around and say, okay, now the corporation gets penalized, right? So now this guy who has 60 employees, 70 employees, he's like, how much do I have to pay? $3,250 per employee that doesn't take the insurance per month.
That's right.
Per month. You'll go out of business.
That's a penalty.
That's a penalty. Now, if the person didn't take the insurance, they get penalized. So what's going on here? It's a money grab. So they're so mad about how they need to keep the affordable health care intact because the government needs to make money.
Got you.
You understand where the money's coming from, right?
Yes.
Now let's pay attention very closely, everybody. We do wealth management, and I told you I'm going to tell you the facts. Come tomorrow, if you want to leave money to your children, it works out either way, whoever wins. Because if the Democrats win, you better buy a lot of life insurance. And if you want to buy life insurance, give my mother a call at 954-599-1950, because the estate tax is going to go through the roof. I'm telling you what's going to start happening. And guess what? You want to start leaving your stocks to your children? You want to start doing things like that? Well, guess what? When the taxes, the ATMs, and that, listen, I'm not an accountant. Talk to your tax advisor. But when the government starts looking for money and you start to see 62.5%, where 50 Cent said he didn't want to become 20 Cent,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. We all saw that. Everybody, not if you're making over 400,000, even the poor guy making 30,000, it's going to get hit also.
Absolutely.
If you looked at the tax law, but all of a sudden on Facebook, everybody became a CPA, right? An accountant. And I'm like, the people don't even pay tax that are making comments and stuff. And I'm reading this stuff. I'm like, they just don't know. Find the facts out first before you make a decision on what you want to do, how it benefits your family, how it benefits your pocketbook. Everybody likes to vote party line, regardless of who's sitting there.
Right.
I say, first of all, take a deep breath. You can vote both sides, Democrat and Republican, whoever's the best guy for the job. Whoever's the best. Because I'm going to tell you something. I told my mom earlier today, You have two kids sitting in the back seat of the car and you're driving. The one keeps on agitating the other one, poking them. And then you turn around, look in the rearview mirror, and the second kid that was getting poked punched the other kid in the face. Then you turn around and blame the second kid, right?
For doing it.
For doing what? For punching the other one.
But never saw the first one hit the...
Exactly. And this is what happens. And I'm going to tell you something where it comes down to, this is a money show, and it's about your money. And it's okay to make little. It's okay to make a lot. But I believe that if you make a lot of money, you're supposed to keep your money. Are you supposed to pay for your fair share? And what is your fair share? I'm going to tell you what your fair share is. Your fair share is that you have children going to public school. You pay your taxes. You pay all the different things you got to pay. Your law enforcement, your fire department. You start paying for things in your municipalities to make sure that the politicians can have their jobs. Okay, to make sure they run things correctly and they actually do something for you. So what ends up happening is if you follow the money, you'll follow the corruption. Remember that. Follow the money, follow the corruption.
Where's the corruption?
Where do you want it or the corruption's at? Now, first of all, I look at everything.
Well, first of all, the mandate. Good or bad?
That was horrible, a mandate. Steve, you better buy insurance.
No. What I'm saying is President Trump got rid of the mandate.
That's the only thing he did. He should explain the penalty. So he should explain that to everybody so they understand. I didn't take away your pre-existing conditions. All I took away was the mandate so you don't get taxed and whacked.
In other words, the penalty that people pay, okay, and people paid a hefty penalty, so he took that away.
If you didn't
if you didn't buy it, or even those that bought it but had an extra surtax, he took that away. He made it easier for somebody. But what they want to do, and which they should do, is that everybody should have the opportunity of buying affordable health insurance.
Of course.
Obamacare is a very expensive proposition. You tell me a man making $50,000 a year, 9.5% of his salary is just too damn much.
Well, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to tell you something. It's open enrollment, and I'm sitting with clients. If you're making $13,500 a year, $14,000, your insurance is basically free.
Should be.
I did 5 plans today. The average cost, one person had to pay a penny, literally a penny, for a silver plan. One person had to pay 65 cents. And let me tell you something. This is the best plan. If you're right above the Medicaid level,
okay,
you can get full coverage. I'm talking about full coverage, so yes, it's doing its job. Here's where the sticky part is. If you're right in that $45,000, $50,000 range, $60,000 up to $100,000, that's where middle-class America is. They cannot afford to get any type of subsidy. And then when you turn around and say it's $3,200 to cover your family a month.
It's ridiculous. Who can afford it?
No one can afford it.
No.
So now that's why we have that group plan for individuals, so that if you have a question on your health insurance, please give us a call at 954-599-1950.
Let's go to break, and we come back. Wow. Scary.
Very.
Let's go to break. When we come back, we have, but just give everybody your phone number again.
954-599-1950. If you have any questions on health insurance, regardless of what group plan, individual plan, we have everything for you. We have all the information for you. Please give us a call, and we'll go over it with you.
Okay, we'll go to break. We'll be right back with Phyllis and Daniel Simon.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
You are listening to the Ask the Experts show with host Steve-O. We will be right back with more experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Join us every Thursday from 6 p.m. Now, get ready for more Ask the Experts.
We are back. Don't forget, we are on every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 7 with local experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. And our new show that's on Tuesdays from 7 to 7:30, our political show. Tomorrow night, we're going to have the mayor of Fort Lauderdale on with us tomorrow night. That'll be interesting. And but tonight we're talking about wealth management, and you've scared everybody.
Well, that's the truth. And I'm going to tell you something, Steve.
Because you're saying something that they're not hearing.
Of course they're not hearing it. No one's going to tell them that. And I'm going to tell you something. It's one of those things where you turn around, you could beat the dead horse, right? And it doesn't matter what news station you watch or listen to. You got to get the facts. You can't listen to 7 words and then run with the story, right? And they always bury a story deep down what the real truth is from there. What's happening is you're going to sit there and start seeing a lot of things, and we all know. When I have the news on all day long, all different stations, and I watch what one person says over the other person, the real truth is the government needs money to run, right? When you do trickle-down economics, when you turn around and sit there and say, well, who are the big companies and they're going to start hiring, corporations are really not supposed to pay tax. Who pays the most tax is the person working. So if you hire more people and they're paying their fair share of tax, that person works 40 hours a week, because corporations are pass-throughs, right? So if you pass through, and I'm not a tax expert, I'm not an accountant, and don't take my word for it, just realize what happens. You're supposed to pass the money through, right? So as a business owner, okay, I turn around and write everything off because that's what I do. And then my employees pay their tax. So for you not to pay any tax, it happens, okay? And I don't want to hear this Warren Buffett story, and I don't want to hear the Donald Trump story about their taxes, because guess what happens? I'm going to tell you a little trick.
The $750?
I'm going to tell you something about real estate.
No, I got something
How's
to
this?
say.
I bought a golf course, paid $1 million for it. I give up my mineral rights. I get 4 times of my mineral rights, $4 million tax write-off. How much tax do you think? I've got $3 more million for the next 10 years to write off.
Right.
So there's ways of why you hire accountants and CPAs to do your taxes. You want to start stomping your feet? Boys and girls, make enough money to hire a great CPA, and you won't be paying taxes either. So these are things that happen out there. And I'm talking, sitting next to an accountant right here, my mother, that when it comes down to tax time, and how you write things off. And why do you write things off? You got to run a business. There's cost to running a business. The guy that works 40 hours a week gets a paycheck, and all he pays is his FICA and the Social Security and so forth and so
Federal
on.
withholding.
And federal withholding. That's all he pays. What's he writing off? Nothing. But own the business, and you'll get a real tax reprieve to see what you really need to do.
Can we talk about pre-existing just for a minute? Because you said
There are none. So what are we talking about for?
yeah.
Eh?
Right now there's pre-existing conditions.
What are you talking about, Steve? You get hit on the head?
No. What I'm saying is, you said that there are no pre-existing.
There are none. And
There are none. In other words, that they pay for it at one time. At one time.
At one time.
If you had a pre-existing condition.
Well, hold on.
They
Where's
would
he
not
getting?
insure you.
Where are you getting your information from? Did you hear that in the news that there's pre-existing condition? Is that what's happening? You must have been watching CNN.
No, I don't know. Watch CNN at all. No, but all we hear about is that the president is going to take pre-existing
No,
conditions
not
away.
true.
No, he's not
Not
true.
true.
It's not true. He said it 1,000,000 times. It's not true. And guess what? Here's you want to fix healthcare? I'm going to fix healthcare for everybody.
No,
Wants a
but
single payer
let's talk
system.
about what it is now.
What it is
just
now?
listen,
It's not changing anytime soon.
There is no such thing as a pre-existing condition anymore. And that went away when Obamacare came in. Just listen.
Okay.
President is not taking away pre-existing condition rule. The pre-existing condition rule was in old health care. If you had a heart condition, the insurance company could say, no, we can't insure you. They can't do that anymore. They're not allowed. So it doesn't matter if you have a pre-existing condition or not. Everybody has a pre-existing
Right.
condition.
By
you shall
breathing.
need one person over 65 that doesn't take at least one pill Whether it's a vitamin
on,
or something to keep them alive. No, I'm serious.
I'm going to
You're
stop
right.
you there for a second. In the last 20 years, doctors prescribe more medication, and they write beautiful notes in your medical file that throws you out. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how old you are. That turns around. Once a doctor starts writing on your medical record, you're done.
That's
Done.
right.
So
That's so.
let's take it from, you're 20 years old and something happened to you. Now they start writing on there. Now you have a pre-existing condition, right?
Right.
Well, there are no more pre-existing. You can go on to the Affordable Health Care Act right now, sign up with any company, no questions asked about, all they ask if you smoke or not. That's all they want to know because they need to know what they're dealing with here. So let's go with what it's really about. And we're going to get into a lot of different things right here, from what they sit there and make you believe to what the real facts are.
Okay.
Anybody can get health insurance today.
Right,
Anybody.
that I know.
Anybody
And
can buy
even-
it. Doesn't
even-
matter what it is. The only time that there is a pre-existing condition, first say, is when you buy these ministry plans, these supplement plans. They ask, the insurance company says, well, in the last 12 months, if you need a surgery, you have to wait 12 months before we cover you on certain
Right.
things.
But,
Okay.
but as far as medical pre-existing conditions for your health insurance, there are none. The people have to stop listening to the rhetoric that they keep hearing, because it scares people to believe something that's not a fact.
Right.
Back in the day, we used to call it propaganda. Well, the big propaganda nowadays. But anyway, I wanted to get on something about the wealth and life insurance and different things like that. A lot of the companies are not writing people over the age of 60
For life insurance.
For life insurance because of COVID.
Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that woke up. They're 62, 65, 70. I need a final expense policy. I need to leave my wife an extra $100,000. I didn't save enough money. There's only a few companies out there right now that are willing to take people.
I'll stop you
And
right
let me
there.
tell you.
I'll stop you right there. I will guarantee coverage. You can have 1 foot in the grave. I
Yes.
will insure you up to
Yes.
$100,000 guaranteed issue.
know.
And I'm going to tell you something. And I don't care if it's term insurance or universal life insurance, because no one has the products that we have. That's from a major carrier. Will give you $100,000 worth of coverage, regardless of your medical condition. Regardless.
Okay.
I'm talking about, you could be sitting there on life support right now.
Guaranteed
They will
issue.
cover you. And guess what's great about that? You could buy the term product for 10-year term on it. And guess what? You can convert it a year later into a whole life policy for permanent coverage for the rest of your life. These are the type of products that we come across from major carriers that will actually write these things. So if anybody out there has ever been declined and cannot get life insurance, give us a call at 954-599-1950. I guarantee we can cover you up to $100,000 regardless
But
of your
how
medical condition.
is it expensive?
No, not at all. Don't give me that look. I'm going to tell you.
Well,
A
'cause you-
48-year-old, listen, a 48-year-old, stage 4 cancer, 10-year term, $88 a month. You telling me that's expensive?
That's very good. It's a 10-year term. You don't expect
Yeah,
them to
stage
live
4
out the 10
cancer, and
years.
you're listen. Stage 4 cancer, and no
Yeah,
insurance
you're
will
not
even
gonna live
touch
long
you.
enough.
Exactly, for $88 a month,
Right.
and then you can always convert it at a standard rating. Come on.
We better go to
He
break.
lives.
You like that? Okay.
Oh, so we're not going to break?
Yeah, we're going to break.
We're going to break. Okay.
Give everybody the phone number again, please.
954-599-1950 for guaranteed coverage on anything it looks like tonight. Phyllis, you're giving away the show. I mean, you're giving away the shop. You're giving away everything. Insure everybody, Mom. Insure
I'm
everybody.
trying.
We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Steve O with the Ask the Experts radio show. At the Simon Group, their goal is to actively help families, individuals, and business owners build their financial freedom. They have the skills, knowledge, and experience required to help meet the client's established goals. They understand their clients want a comfortable retirement, but that means different things to different people. And there are other goals that they can emerge along the way, from planning for a child's education to planning for a managing income in retirement. That's why the Simon Group offers a range of financial strategies and solutions to help in every step of the way. They work with you to gain confidence and stay flexible and prepared for your financial future. The Simon Group serves their clients in estate and investment solutions, insurance protection, income, stocks and bonds, retirement investments, and insurance. Contact the Simon Group for a free financial planning appointment today at 954-599-1950. That's 954-599-1950.
And we're back for our final 15 minutes, 12 minutes. We're here with Daniel Simon, Phyllis Simon of the Simon Group USA. We could do this all night.
Oh, yeah.
I
We
mean,
need to,
people,
because people don't understand, Steve.
you're exactly right.
I had kid gloves on for the last year on this show, and I really didn't tell anybody the way it really is. And you know what? Something woke me up. You know what? In the last month, I lost 3 friends, and one of the friends I lost passed away, and it really hit me hard to the point that I did his health insurance and for his family and everything else. And he used to come into my office, always talk about life insurance. Could never get insured. He's like, come on. And, you know, we were Masons together. And I didn't have the product, you know, from there, because I'm like, you're uninsurable. No one's going to touch you for life insurance. I'm like, the health insurance, yeah, great. You know, all the surgeries and everything else. But I said, no one will ever touch you. And this was something that when I came across this product, I said, now they came out with this product from there. This is something where I handle the money. I handle wealth. I don't like talking about death. I don't. No one likes talking about death. This was something that, you know, I talk about greed. And my partner over here, I said, you're the Grim Reaper. You sell death, and that's what you bring to the door to people. You know, when you sit down, because no one likes to talk about it. No one wants to talk about they can't do something, or they're going to become disabled, or they need long-term care. It's not sexy. It's not exciting at all. But it's like, what happens when you pass away and the bills are stacked up, okay, and your family can't afford what you need from the table? Where are they pulling the money from? I'm going to give you a prime example. I speak to multimillionaires, they own a ton of real estate from there. Well, guess what happens? You pass away, and first it goes to your children, okay? And all of a sudden, there's a fire sale going on, and you sold that building. It's worth, technically on paper, for $10 million. You owe the kids owe the IRS $5 million for that building. That's what they owe them, right? You have 9 months. Joe Robbie's story. You have 9 months to go sell the property, and you can't get a buyer for $10 million. And I come along and offer you $5.5 billion. That's all I'm going to give it to you for the building. So you guys have no other choice. You take it. So your kids made $500,000 off the building instead of $10 million. There's a reason for life insurance. You want to be greedy? What is life insurance? I'm going to tell you what life insurance is. You're buying money, pennies on the dollar. That's what you're doing. That's life insurance, right? What are actuaries? They're bookies inside of an insurance company. That's exactly what they are. We're going to break down insurance for everybody so they can understand it. And I'm going to teach you what insurance really is. So everybody pay attention. Grab your pen, paper, lipstick, crayon, whatever you have to write down. I'm going to tell you a couple different things. An actuary is going to bet on your life or your health. They're going to figure out when they think you're going to die, how healthy you are, and everything else. What happened with actuaries now? COVID came around. Insurance companies are stopped writing insurance, life insurance. They're frozen right now. They don't know what to do.
Think so.
It's taken 3 or
it's
4 months for
outrageous.
underwriting. Of course it is. But here's the crazy part. If you turned around and said, here are your odds, right? And we all know what odds are. If I told you what your odds are, if I said we walked into a sports book, me and you, Steve, and Sunday afternoon we're going to bet on some football, and we looked up at the board, it says 40,000 to 1. It says 15,000 to 1, 3 to 1, and 1 to 1. Those are our odds on the board. Where do you put your money? Well, you know what 40,000 to 1 is? That's if something was going to happen to your house. 40,000 to 1 shot, right? So buy the cheapest A-plus rated company, homeowners insurance you possibly can. 15,000 to 1, you know what odds those are? That's for your auto. Go shop out your auto insurance. Find the cheapest A-plus rated company. You know what 3 to 1 is? That you'll become disabled or need long-term care in your lifetime.
3 to 1?
3 to 1 shot.
Wow.
And guess what? Companies are stopped selling long-term care. So if you haven't bought it, companies are shutting it down January 1st. If you need long-term care or even think about it, even want to know about it, give us a call at 954-599-1950. Reason why? People are living longer, okay? And the insurance companies do not want to pay out. They don't. Remember,
Of course
they're
they
bookies.
don't.
What's a 1-to-1 shot, Steve? You're going to die. Don't know when. I lost my crystal ball when I was 7, and I think my mom threw it out afterwards. I'm not sure. Rolled under the bed somewhere. So the bottom line is where do you put your money? Now, let's get greedy. I'm a money guy. If I told you you have an IRA investment and I have a life insurance product, and you're going to put away in an IRA $500 a month, a Roth IRA, a regular IRA, and we're going to run this out, you're 40 years old, and we're going to run it out for 30 years. If I told you in 30 years, the product on the right, you put away $500, it'll give you back $1,500 on your money, right? You'd say there's no possible way.
Right.
What's the stock market average? Let's say it's 8%, 7-8%. Then you take out the brokerage fees. Then you take out the commissions and everything else and the short-term trading costs. So you return 5% on your money. I guarantee you a life insurance whole life product with the right company, the right dividend scale internally, not tied to the stock market, will blow away a Roth IRA or a regular IRA every single day. Guess what? You could borrow the money back tax-free. Borrow the money from yourself. So these are things that we
Because
show
it's a
people.
loan.
It's a loan back to you. So these are things that we show people that besides having an IRA, buy a whole life policy when you're young enough and healthy enough so you have a different bucket of money. 2008 happened. If things happen tomorrow the way people think it's going to happen, and I was on the phone with one of the big boys out there, and there's a blue wave, guess what? You're going to see 2008 again. Market rolls 40%. 40%. So now all of a sudden what happens? Real estate's going to roll also. Why is real estate going to roll? Nobody could pay their mortgages, and now guess what happened? After COVID, people didn't go back to work. Now the mortgage market's going to roll. 2008 happens again. Happens every 12 years. Right? Real estate, stock market, we have crashes. So now, if we were in 2008 and I said, take money in 2008, you just retired, take money out of your 401k, take money out of your IRA, take money out of your house, you can't. Everything was crushed, right? 2008.
Right.
But then all of a sudden, where do you have money? You had money, and I hate to use the word annuity, but the only thing that didn't get hit that hard was either a fixed annuity, because it's fixed rate, you can't lose. Variable annuities gave you guarantees, and your life insurance had money into it. There's ways that we show people where to put their money in financial planning and advising that they have buckets of money. We remember Bozo the Clown. Remember Bozo when I was a little kid? I used to watch the guy get 7 little buckets with ping pong balls.
Right.
You need more buckets in your life and putting money away. By the way, boys and girls, baseball cards are not going to really be worth anything. So
No kidding.
I have a whole garage full of them in my mom's house. She's still screaming at me. But I will tell you this. You got to put money away in certain things. Collectible dolls, baseball cards, and cars are not where to put your money. You got to put your money in. Yes, everybody should have a little real estate. Everybody should have a little investment into life insurance. Not using it for the point of covering the family. It's for you to put money away for yourself also. Now, obviously, you have to cover something. You love your children. You love your family. Why do you buy insurance? You're trying to cover something.
Right.
Right? I'm buying money because God forbid my
Something
business,
happens to
God
you.
forbid the kids. God forbid this. Now let's get greedy with it. Really work the insurance. And I hate to say this. There's only 3% of our industry that are fiduciaries. We are fiduciaries, by the way. And financial advisors and planners, and you can call us any names out there. A lot of people, what I call is one-trick pony. We offer every company out there because the concept might be great, but you have the wrong company.
Right.
You might have the wrong company, right? And a lot of different things. It comes to life insurance, investments, so forth and so on. You might have the wrong concept, but a great company. So you got to know why you're putting money away for yourself. You got to know what you're buying. And that's when it comes down to having a review. Because we're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So if you need a review, and I will take the time to sit down with you and explain, please give us a call at 954-599-1950. I know Phyllis has been kind of quiet tonight, so you want to grab the microphone and say something? And
Oh, 2 minutes left.
that's all I give her.
That's okay. I'll get it.
Let me ask you, do you have your clients buying any kind of precious metals at all? Gold?
Actually, yes, I do have gold in the portfolio, but I will tell you something. You know, it comes down to what do you think is going to happen when you look at the markets? Where do people run with their money when they're scared?
There's our song. Give everybody the phone number again.
954-599-1950.
Doesn't cost anything to sit down with you.
No, not at all.
Give them a call tomorrow. If you can't tell after this show, these are the people you need to be using, then I feel sorry for you. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:30 with our political show. Sophie and I and everybody have a good week. And Bo, don't forget tomorrow, Bo Simon. Don't forget to vote for him.
Remember that
if you're in Broward. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to the Ask the Expert Show, featuring interviews with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Call our office at 888-574-6999 to become one of our experts on the show. And tune in again next week for more Ask the Experts with Steve-O.